wait, I'm gonna spend February reading a bunch of romance books, and I can't decide if that makes me very, very happy or very, very disgusted. Hello, my name's Ashley. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be discussing my February TBR. Now, in the month of January, I learned that if I want to get a lot of things read this month, I have to lean into the books that I genuinely find really interesting. I cannot force read just about anything, otherwise it just won't happen because I'm so busy that I'm not gonna just happen to pick up a book and kind of make my way through it. Not during a school semester. So romance is where it's at. So that's where we're going for just about the majority of all of these books. So let's start with the audiobooks that I plan to work on. Alright, and in direct defiance of exactly everything I just said, I'm reading Barnaby Rudge for the Dickens versus Tolstoy readathon. And with classics, I am just gonna have to make my way through them. So this finally came in from the library on hold. So I'm gonna start working my way through it. The plan is hesitantly to listen to an hour of audio every day, somehow, somewhere. Or maybe 2 hours of audio one day and nothing the next day. But I'm not gonna just wake up and choose this. I have to actively make space for it in my life, otherwise it's just not gonna happen. And I do want to read all of Dickens' work, and I am really actually enjoying this. I have no idea where it's going, but I think it's very funny. There have been several times when I've actually laughed out loud at the characters, at the situations going on. I do like this. But it's not a romance, and so it's definitely not pulling my attention and my heart as much as The People We Meet on Vacation by Erin Henry. This is a book that's set to come in very soon for me on the Libby app for audiobook, and I don't know a whole ton about this novel. The premise actually sounds a little vague and weird. It's about two friends who go on vacation at the same time every year, and that's how they met, was that they always go to the same vacation spot, and they were the best of friends, and then something happened and they haven't spoken in 2 years, and one of the girl in this relationship is like, you know what, let's try this again, let's fix our friendship, but we don't know why they broke their friendship off 2 years ago or how they're gonna fix it. And I'm not like, that plot is semi-interesting to me, but I am more here because I really trust Erin Henry. I finished Beach Reads 8 weeks ago, maybe? Was it? I don't even know if it was that long ago. But I loved and adored that book, and I trust this author a lot. So that's why I'm picking this up, and I'm so excited for this to come into me because I'm going to remove everything off of my plate. Barnaby Rudge gets tossed to the side. This is the end-all be-all, basically. This is going to be the book I think is going to be my favorite romance. If I'm predicting 5 stars out of 5 stars, this is where I'm placing all my money. I'm very excited for this. I am excited to read a romance. Again, and the only person surprised by that is me. Okay, next we have physical books that I'm planning on physically reading. And the first book is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alix Harrow. My book club, our pick for this month is this book, and the audiobook is supposed to come in 4 weeks, which may not be enough time. So unless it comes in a week before we meet, this is all gonna have to be read via ebook, which is probably good because I spend too much time on my phone, so I should spend it doing something productive. But I hate ebooks. That's like the least common way I read things, if I can possibly help it. But in this case, I mean, if I knew this author and I really liked this author, I probably wouldn't hesitate to buy this. But I did try and read The Once and Future Witches, her other book, and I thought the writing was gorgeous, and I thought the plot was so boring. So I'm really not sure where this is going. I don't think it's a romance either, although it did mention romantic elements. All I really know about this is that we have this girl who lives in this very rich, glitzy house, and she finds a book that reveals secrets about the world that she's living in. Which is interesting, but I'm not, we'll reserve judgment. We will reserve judgment. But I expect that the writing will be super beautiful, so at least I got that to look forward to. Next we have the book 2 in the Perfected series, and this book is called Tarnished. Oh, this is by Kate Jarvik Birch, and in this series we follow Ella as after she has broken free of some of the dystopian trappings, and now she's going to insert herself back into the system, pretending to be a perfect pet, and in order to rescue someone that she loves. I'm pretty on board with finishing this series. I didn't immediately pick up the next book after I finished the first book, because I don't know, Sweet Girl by Rachel Hollis sounded more interesting at the time. But I am really excited to finish this book and then the third book in the series. So the number 3 book is on this one. I haven't read the back of this one, and I'm not going to do spoilers because then I'll ruin book 3 for myself. But this book is called Unraveled. And I am excited to just whip through these. I think this will make me excited to read every night, which is what I need, and that's something that has been missing from my life for a really long time, is that excitement element of what I'm reading. So unfortunately the romance does that, and sometimes classic literature does not. And next we have American Heiress by Daisy Goodwin. This is a romance and historical fiction, all mushed together. This is from the author that wrote the script for Victoria, and I loved the TV series. I read the book and I wasn't as much of a fan of the book, but again, I read the book when my daughter was a newborn, and so I don't know if my judgment was quite as sound because I was really tired. But you know, I have insomnia, so I'm always really tired, so maybe that's not much of an excuse. Anyway, so the story follows a girl who grows up in America. She is quite wealthy, and her family really wants her to get a title because in America we don't hand out titles. So they send her to the party season in London to try and find herself a man. And I think this is based on true stories. This has the romance element that I think I'm looking for, so hopefully the romance is believable. I think this could go either way. I think I could really love this. I think I could really hate this. I really love the idea of this. I think this plot is amazing. We'll just have to see where it goes from there. Next, I have Jane Eyre and Mansfield Park still on this list. I did read the introduction to Mansfield Park, and I was totally on board with it. I was like, this is great. I'm so excited for this. And then I opened up chapter 1 and I went, and put it down and picked up Sweet Girl by Rachel Hollis instead. So I'm thinking maybe I'll transition and go into Jane Eyre, because I know it kind of takes place in like cold wintry months, and that's probably more of what I'm feeling right now. But also I don't really need a classic to read right now because I'm reading Barnaby Rudge. So, but I do love Jane Eyre. So we're gonna see what happens there. I don't know that I will make reading a classic a huge priority this month, unless all of the other books happen to be super boring and I just need something to read. But I don't think that's what's gonna happen, so I'm probably not gonna read a classic this month, or at least I'm not predicting in the next couple of weeks that I'll be reading a classic. The only exception to that is Shakespeare, because if I'm gonna read 3 plays by him, I need to get started on that. So I have hesitantly picked out The Tempest. I did look at King Lear because it's winter time in that one, and it's winter where I live right now, but I'm not in the mood for a tragedy, so I don't know. I put it back. So I have The Tempest pulled out. I haven't started reading it because it takes a lot of brain power, and at the end of the day, after running around working and doing school and being a mom, I don't really want to make my brain work, which is kind of what it's coming down to. So we're gonna have to get over that. But this may not be the month to force myself to do that. We'll just maybe still spend some more time adjusting to all the responsibilities. We'll go with that excuse. I like that excuse. I like it. We're gonna go with it. Okay, next we have the tag team. So this is physical and audio, because I love tag teaming both of those, being able to listen to it and then jump in and read it and then pick up the audio. That is one of my favorite things to do in reading. So I think what will probably happen is I have the entire Matched series by Allie Condie, and nobody currently has any of these checked out from the library system. So I am currently listening to the audiobook. I'm 8-10% in, not super far, like 3 or 4 chapters, and I am loving this. I'm totally enjoying this. So I think if I'm in between books, I'll probably pick that up, start listening to it and reading it, and whip my way through that pretty fast. And if I like that, then I'll probably do the second and the third book. Just do the same thing. And then the other book is The Royal Assassin, that I checked it out because it was just available, and then I didn't finish it in the 3 weeks that I had it. And so now I've been waiting on hold for forever. So if that comes in, I would probably, but I don't know, because but the thing is, I have to force myself to read fantasy sometimes, because sometimes it just feels like too much work. Again, back to the work factor. That's really interesting that I said that. Now I'm psychoanalyzing myself. Anyway, I do love this world, and I do like Robin Hobb, and I am interested in the characters, so I might just force myself. But the thing is, the moment I start forcing myself to do that, the amount of books and my enjoyment kind of like dims and goes down a little bit. But it will spike back up, because I do have a lot of other books that I really love on this list. So we'll just have to kind of play it by ear and see how the mood is, because I do want to finish this series, and it's been sitting on my shelf for a really long time, and everybody talks about it so highly and so lovingly, and I also want to speak about this so highly and lovingly. I can about the first book, but I want to see where the series goes. So that's where we're at with that. I could add 1,000 other books to this list, but we're gonna cap it here because realistically, if I finish every book on this list, it will be amazing. It will be a miracle. I don't know that I've ever made a TBR and then read everything on that list. But also I'm a mood reader. But if I was more respectful of my moods and all I put on it was romance, maybe that would work. You know what? Okay, here's my promise to myself. If in the month of March I'm still just wanting romance, all I'm gonna read is romance in March. That's it. I'm not gonna read any classics unless I'm really feeling the romance. Nothing. That's all I'm gonna do, and we're just gonna lean hardcore into that and see what happens. Yeah, that's it. So I will talk with you all in the comments down below and in another video. Bye!